There's a saying that I like to use, and I'm sure a lot of you heard it. It's better to have it and not need it than it is to need it and not have it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sober Stacker. I woke up sober this morning because I went to bed sober last night, man. That's the way it works. Good days, great days, horrible days. Get through them, get your butt to bed sober. You wake up sober the next morning. You got a fresh start. Keep moving forward because life is worth it. All right. I wasn't going to make a video today, but I watched actually my wife sent it to me, a video last night, a Facebook video. Before I share the link to this video or even tell you this person's name in this video, please understand, I am not calling for any of this to happen. I am not encouraging any rise up, and I'm just putting this out there, and I'm going to state that it's better to have it and not need it than it is to need it and not have it. The video that my wife sent me was I'll put the link up here if I can. I'm pretty sure I can copy it from Facebook and put it up here. But here's the link. The guy's name is Chris. Now, I don't know if it's pronounced Brighton or Britain. It's Britton. It was a fairly long Facebook video. And just to break it down real quick, he's calling for basically American citizens to rise up and on October 17th, stop going to work for 30 days. Now, I understand that, a lot of people, that's impossible to do. But basically, the outcome that this person wants is to shut the government down. Why? Because of the communists being elected to our government. The communists winning primaries, governors being elected in New York, or a governor being elected in New York. But not only that, in his video, now I'm just saying what he says in the video, okay? So please don't leave me horrible messages saying, dude, what are you doing here? I'm just paraphrasing here. Basically, he's calling for United States citizens to rise up and put a stop to the invasion. I'll leave it at that. So, immediately after I watched this video, what came to my mind? Silver. Because there was a follow-up video of a person answering him who was on the same page as him, but was saying, if this happens, they're going to shut the banks down. They're going to, you won't have access to your money. Again, I am not a prepper. I have some stuff, but I am not a hardcore into the world, into the United States type prepper, with the bunkers and the 2 years worth of food and ammunition and all that stuff. I don't do that. But I do have some things, food and water and things like that. But it got me thinking, what if this really comes to be? What if this really happens? I mean, who would have ever thought that Independence Day would happen, that the revolution would happen, in 1776 and before that? Did people go about their normal lives before that thinking, it'll never happen, it'll never happen? I mean, this is one guy calling for Americans to rise up. What if that catches on? And what if worst case scenario, his option A was to do it peacefully as possible, to have the American citizen's voice heard and put a stop to all this mess. But he also threw out an option B, and I do encourage you to go look him up and watch his video. And I really hope I can put the link to it up here. But again, I'm not sure I can copy a link from Facebook and put it on YouTube. I think there's some kind of weird rule. I don't know. But again, it's Chris Brighton. Now, his option B was, if option A don't work, it's time to go to option B, and he is fully prepared to do that. Now, whether this guy has a militia following, I have no idea. But he's calling on people to join him, whether they have 2 people or 50 people. You know, so how big could this get? Could it ever work? Is it just blowing smoke? Is it just being mad? Is it just releasing some frustration? I have no idea. I don't know. But again, better to have it, not need it, than to need it and not have it. Which, again, takes me back to the constitutional silver and fractional silver and silver in general, gold. What if that were to happen? What if the banks did shut down? What if, you know, not just in that scenario, I mean anything, an EMT strike, maybe virus, anything. I love having cash at home. And I think it's important that all of us have some cash at home. But silver, you know, I watched a video, I guess it was about a week ago, Silver Joker. And he was making a response video to silver will never be used in a SHTF scenario. And the points he made was valid. You know, that it definitely, well, I ain't going to say definitely. I'm one to where I think that commodities will be more important to have. Bread, food, gas, wood, skills, before silver will ever be used as a monetary system. But you never know. Again, better to need it, or better to have it, not need it, than it is to need it and not have it. Thousand Air Radio did a video about why would you pay such a premium. Now, this is not his exact words, but why would you pay a premium for fractional pure silver when you can get 90% silver under spot right now, 90% junk silver? I totally agree with that. I don't buy grams. I don't buy 1/10 silver rounds. I don't buy 1/4 ounce. I don't buy 1/2 ounce. If I'm not getting a 1 ounce round, I'm getting constitutional or a Morgan or Peace dollar. My last 2 purchases was Morgans. And I got a little bit of constitutional. So, well, I got one Franklin half along with a Morgan silver dollar. It was $18.90. So yeah, I mean, what if? And again, please understand, I'm not calling for any of this to happen. I'm not saying let's do this, but I am ex-Army. You know, I signed a thing that says defend the United States, foreign and domestic. And that is good until I take my last breath. I was not a combat military soldier. I was a paper pusher. But contract is a contract. An oath is an oath. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying, what if? Are you prepared? Do you have your food, your water, your cash on hand? Do you have your silver bits, constitutional silver, things like that? Is it possible? I don't know, guys. But there are many things that have happened in the history of the United States that I'm sure the day before it happened, people were saying, oh, that'll never happen. Don't worry about it. We're good. It'll blow over. You guys have a beautiful, wonderful, blessed day. Ponder on that for a little while. I'll see y'all in the next video.